Whoa, sorry. Let's get this thing right. Oh, hello, hello, hello. How are you, friends? I'm just using a mount here, but the mount is not working with me. I hope that you're well. Oh, friends, I've got 10% on my battery here, and I don't have a means of charging this phone right now. It's a long story, but I'm going to do a longer live later on. I have been offline for a while. I've had phone troubles and whatnot. Also been really, you know, it's been a crazy time, hasn't it? You know, we can kind of make light of it and so on, but the world we knew, it died a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago now. We know it's not coming back, not in the way it was. And I titled this Fight or Flight because I think that what's being created is those two opposites of the coin, two sides of the coin. You're either in absolute fear, and I'm actually parked near Tesco's. Andrea and Luke and Zizi have gone to the shops. It's such a long queue, and they don't like more than 2 people at a time and so on, and it's actually a very uncomfortable, unpleasant experience. So, well, I try and avoid it, but you can't not go to the shops. But as you can see, I'm still on Jason's van, and I'm no longer in Lincoln. We're in Norfolk now. We will be for another few days. We were given an opportunity to stay at that old stately home that we were staying at a few months ago. You might remember. So because they couldn't take any bookings, they had a gap. And anyway, I won't go into the details. I've got a few percentage points on battery here, so it won't be long before this phone dies. I really hope that you're well. I think that people are starting to realize, some are starting to realize that they've been deceived, or that this isn't what it should be, or it isn't what it is. But of course, there's plenty of people here wearing masks out of choice. They don't have to. They do it out of fear. And so that's what I see. I see the angry, the fight, the pissed off. You're ruining my life. You're ruining my opportunities. You're lying. You're making, all of that is causing the anger and resentment to grow. And it won't be long before there is a significant response, I think, from people, and a more significant and draconian response from the powers that we've given away to these. Anyway, so I just think that that's the dialectic, and we're smart enough to know that we're being played, and therefore how do we pull ourselves out, or how do we find a middle way, a third way? The third way, for me, to keep it brief, is about love. It's about higher vibration. They're wanting to prevent your higher vibration at this time. They're keeping us in the low fight-flight vibrations, the lower chakras, the lower energies, the lower vibrations. I think for an important time. Yesterday was Ascension Day, so if you were feeling some weird feelings and strangeness yesterday, then that'll be possibly part of that. People talk about the Schumann resonance. If you've looked into that, apparently it's off the charts at the moment. So the frequencies are changing, but they're holding us in this sort of low vibe place, and I think that's on purpose. It's unpleasant to know how we've turned our friends into our enemies, really, because they are likely carrying some airborne illness that's going to possibly kill people and so on. So children are no longer playing with each other, their friends, and so on for that reason, and it's dreadful to see. And walking around seeing people like we're in a morgue at a funeral, and maybe that's right, because the world we knew has gone away, has died. So I'm going to talk more when later on, when I get my phone isn't. Oh, I won't get to it. Anyway, I'll do a longer live. Andrea and I will do some chatting. She's got some good insights on the what we call the 3D like materialist mindset versus the 5D more spiritually enlightened mindset. And I'm not looking to pass judgment on 3 or 4 or 5D or anything like that, simply to say that there are different dimensions of consciousness, different levels of consciousness, and you can stay in the fight or flight, which is a 3D consciousness, or you can seek to use this as an impetus to push yourself upwards towards a higher calling, or a higher vibration, a higher way of being. So I won't talk for too long now, because I don't want the stream to die, well, the phone to die while I'm running the stream, because it takes ages to then close the stream. But I will quickly say hello to a few, because I can read that. I might have to bring it closer to me to read that. Oh, there's quite a lot of comments. I wasn't really paying attention to that. Hi, Jamie. Ricardo, my friend. Nice to see you. Hey, Dolly. How are you? Well? Popping in. Yeah, was that popping in? Yes. Fear or no fear? I'm in no merging. Good. Go within. You're right about that. I think it's the within, yeah. You know, and they want us out there in the streets rampaging and so on. And I really, part of me wants to go out and be the activist. And I still, as I've got this van, and I can still put some stickers on it while I've got it. And I should say that I am going to be asking later on for people to see if I can't, generate some income for Jason, because Jason's lent me this van for the last 2 months, and he's currently paying a lot to repay the thing off, and I have no means of helping him out with that. I'd love to be able to help him out. So I still have these visions of taking this van around. I've got these ideas of writing some stuff on the van, and using the van as like a mobile information giver. I don't have to stop in a place for too long. We can work this out, that we don't get, when the police turn up, you say, all right, well, I'm on my way, but you've had an opportunity for a few minutes to drop a few bombs in a few places. And of course you can drive around pretty much as much as you like. So if I can use this as a moving billboard and try and give people some insights into this, then I will certainly take that opportunity. But the way things stand at the moment is I'm probably going to need to return the van to Jason so that he can maybe try and rent it out, or to someone with a bit of money, or which will be difficult at the moment. We know, well, maybe he may have to sell it. But just there's a little bit of an update for you there. Hi, Isaiah. These are definitely spiritual times, apocalyptic times, and yeah, we're either going to get in the fight or the flight, or we're going to do something else with it. So let's see what we can say about that. Higher state of consciousness, exactly. I mean, it is a spiritual war, but at the same time, and a battle as well. At the same time, it's also like, do you want to qualify it or quantify it as war, rather than a more spiritual kind of peaceful thing? So me, I would rather be like in a Zen state, kind of finding my own paradise. And if feeling the same way, I would say start building on it. I don't think it's going to happen. We've not got days and weeks left. I think this is a years-long kind of program. So you have time, I think, to divest yourself of the system as much as you can. And of course, we're looking to do that. We want some land. So if anyone knows of anyone with some land that's going, that could be used to grow some stuff on and so on, maybe to live on for a while, please get in touch. trinityforman@gmail.com. I'm not going to ask for any money right now, but later on I am, when I do the longer live, I am going to be asking people to see if they can help out, because at this point in time we're still, we have no means of generating an income, and I certainly don't want to go and get a job as a track and trace finder, which I think is actually the 5G. That's the secret of the 5G. It's people are fighting again over the possible kind of kill grid that they're putting on, but I think the 5G the track and trace requires a 5G level of accuracy, you know, because the triangulation that the 4G system uses is pretty rough. You'll know you can take 5 steps in one direction and your sat nav won't know that you've changed direction. But with a 5G, they'll be able to say that within 10 centimeters or whatever, your phone was in as close proximity to another phone. And there's going to be this global track and trace system coming in place. So you can go to any country in the world and they'll be able to track and trace you, follow you, and say, yes, you were near somebody with COVID. We're going to have to take actions. So that's what I think the big secret is with 5G, the big Trojan horse. But they're being, you know, the squabbling over the radiation or the microwaves, which I'm sure will cause more illness. But I think the track and trace was the big secret they were kind of building up the 5G for, because it's a far more refined triangulation, because they have, you know, as we all know, far more masts. They have to have far more masts. So again, that's just makes it more accurate from a track and trace point of view, because they couldn't carry you caught. They couldn't force you to have a whatever COVID kind of reaction they will take if they could say, oh well, you were within about 3 meters or 5 meters of another phone. No, they need to be super accurate with that, and I think that's what that will give them. Who's that? Mark. Hey, my brother. Really nice to see you, and thanks for your comments earlier on. Thanks for your input. Always nice to hear your thoughts on things. I'm not. I'm a bit of a troglodyte when it comes to Bitcoin and or was it the other one, Hashgraph? You know, and I'm. Forgive me, but I'm just going to stay on the kind of, you know, how can I trust anything of the system? And of course, what your points about it, you know, making. Oh, I won't go into that now. Don't have time. Sorry, but we'll talk again more on that. They've already got towers up. Kind of reminds me of the movie They Live with. Yes. I think the towers are up, but I don't know whether our devices, our 4G devices, they may already be able to say, well, even though it's a 4G device, we can pinpoint you with far more accuracy with these 5G things. Because at the moment, there's very few people who have 5G devices. But as I said, this is a years-long thing. It's not going to happen. Everything's not going to happen overnight. We're just seeing, even though 2 months in, when we should have all, you know, we've all gone and hidden away, and we've all gone through the 2-week incubation period and so on. It should be like, all right, well, if you're still well, carry on with your life as normal. But no, they're just actually ramping up more and more controls, more and more strictness and so on. And this is just a regular, normal play, and it's going to piss people off as it's intended to, and it's certainly damaging lives already. But they're using the fear. The fear is powerful, very, very powerful. Sorry, Mark. So I think I just died. No, that's not bad. Oh, did I die?